Hey guys, welcome back to the Daily Departure. I am Noelle, a Chicago-based flight attendant, and I fly for a mainline U.S. carrier. I am going to check out my bids for November and see what kind of schedule I held, what trips I have. Also, so sorry, I am on a layover in Denver right now, and I just got done working out, but due to how late we got in last night, what time I woke up and got my workout started, and how long my workout was, I got done like right when bids came out. So I just got back to my room. They came out like 30 minutes ago and I could not wait to see what I got. So I'm coming to you from my Denver hotel. Funny because this was actually the same place I was in last time I filmed one of these videos when I had a line month in September. So we're just doing a little deja vu here, but like I said, I could not wait, so I hopped right on over from the gym and we're taking a look at my schedule. For the month of November, I have a line month, which means I know my trips ahead of time. I'm just pulling up my awards right now. I needed like 7 or 8 days off, I think, maybe 9. I needed like a chunk of days off next month, but I was willing to fly on Thanksgiving, so I really have no idea what I'm gonna hold. Since I kind of bid to fly on Thanksgiving, I am hoping that I maybe at least got a good trip on Thanksgiving. I really don't know. I'm a little bit nervous. Also, I saw what my friends held, so I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna hold at all because they're senior to me in Chicago. But I got my schedule pulled up, but I'm about to take a look. Okay, so far I'm looking at it and I am very happy. I got off all the days that I needed, so that is a huge blessing because I was really worried about that. It looks like my credit for the month is 78 hours, so definitely a little bit higher than I wanted to hold, but again, I'm junior, so I can't be picky. I got really lucky in September that I only held like 42 hours, but honestly this is pretty decent. I'm just glad I got the days off that I needed. So it looks like on my schedule I see a lot of like 3-day trips, but some 3-day trips I bid for were like ones that had like a 24-hour layover, so I'm hoping maybe some are like that. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so the first trip I held is in Austin 2-day. It's like a 15-hour layover. Super easy, late sign-in on the 1st and the 2nd of the month, and then the second trip I have is on the 3rd and the 4th of the month. Yes, you guys, I'm so excited. I held a Raleigh Odan. I literally love Odans. I feel like it's usually hard for me to hold them because I just am like junior. I held one that I wanted. Okay, so I'm super excited about that. I held a Minneapolis layover, which is really exciting. And it actually looks like it's showing up like a 3-day trip, but it's actually a 2-day trip because it just gets back at midnight. And then it gets back at midnight, and then our release time is like after midnight, so it shows as a 3-day trip, but it's actually a 2-day trip, which is solid. But for those of you that don't know, I'm from Minnesota, so I sometimes bid Minneapolis layovers, but a lot of the time Minneapolis layovers are like super short and or a lot of legs, so I really don't get to fly a lot of them. But I held one, so that's really exciting. And it's a late departure, which is really lovely. So so far so good, you guys. 3 for 3. Okay, then I have a trip on the 18th, and solid. It is not an actual 3-day trip. It is a red-eye trip, which you guys know I love red-eye trips. It's a 24-hour layover in San Francisco. Okay, you guys, 4 for 4. I bid that one. Then I have another trip that looks like a 3-day trip, but I think it's actually another red-eye trip. I got about a 27-hour Portland layover, so I'm excited about that one, except for the first day is like 3 legs, so that's definitely going to be a long day, but it's not too early of a report. 27-hour layover, it gets in at like 6 a.m. You guys, so far so good. Now I see that I am flying on Thanksgiving. I bid, like I said, to hold a trip on Thanksgiving. Years past, I've always kind of held a trip on Thanksgiving. Last year was the exception because I was furloughed, so I didn't have a trip on Thanksgiving. But normally I bid a trip on Thanksgiving and it's normally super terrible. And then I trade into a better trip because if you're willing to fly on Thanksgiving, you can usually get like a pretty good trip. I was in Las Vegas for a really long trip my first year. My second year, I was in Cancun for Thanksgiving. And then the following year, I was in St. Martin for Thanksgiving. That was definitely my favorite. I would love to have that layover again, but let's see what we got. It's a West Palm Beach layover on Thanksgiving. It gets in around like 12:30, and it's like a 22-hour layover. Sometimes at different bases they'll hold like Thanksgiving parties for flight attendants to come to. So this is definitely one that I at this point will probably keep. I'm not really sure. It might just kind of depend on like if I can drop it or if I can trade it. But my schedule is pretty packed right now. So I'm definitely okay with flying this one. Following trip after that is definitely one that I think I might have bid for it because of the layover, but now that I'm looking at the sequence, I definitely will trade out of this one. It's a 15-hour LaGuardia layover, and it's a 3-3. Just not about that. I will definitely be trading that one if I can. And then I have a trip right after that, and I have another ODAN. So super exciting. Okay, so I held 2 ODANs. I held 2 red-eye trips. I held a long Minneapolis layover, and I held a long layover in a city that I don't mind being in for Thanksgiving, and I got all the days off that I needed. So this is pretty exciting, you guys. I have a really cool month coming up in November. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Definitely like days on and days off between trips. I don't have a lot of days off. It's kind of like a day off here and there in between the trips. But I have long layovers, so I always consider that like a day off because it's a day that I get to be traveling. And then I have a red eye back, so I always kind of consider those as like a day that I'll be traveling. So schedule wise, let me tell you how many days on I have. So I have about 20 days on, and then like you guys know, I always try to count the red eye days like off. So 20 days on, basically like 18 days of actual flying. Because I have the ODANs, it's gonna feel like I basically have like 6 extra days off, because I get in so early and I have the rest of the day at home. And also I have that Minneapolis layover. I remember it was basically a day off because we got in at midnight, but I'm off the rest of that day. So I actually only have 19 days on, which isn't bad. So I'm very pleased with my schedule this month. I think I see only 2 trips that I might think about trading, but I might keep them as well because they're pretty chill. So it's really exciting. So if you guys want to see what I do on those layovers, definitely feel free to hop on over to my Instagram and follow me there because I post all of my trip content there and TikTok as well. But yeah, thanks for watching my reactions video, and I will see you guys next time on the Daily Departure.